Hello, history adventurers. It's me, Ramuel, your trusty guide through the wild, wacky, and sometimes super serious past. Today, we're diving headfirst into the action-packed era of 170 AD to 190 AD. We'll explore the Roman Empire as it battles plague and war, peek into a dramatic Chinese court, and learn about a brilliant Christian leader who fought for truth. Our story kicks off with a true intellectual powerhouse and defender of the faith, Athenagoras of Athens. He was a brainiac who was obsessed with finding the ultimate truth through Greek philosophy. But like Saint Justin Martyr before him, Athenagoras eventually found that all the old philosophies were lacking. He converted to Christianity and used his brilliant mind to defend his new faith. Around 177 AD, he wrote a book to the emperors Marcus Aurelius and Commodus, proving that Christians weren't a threat to Rome and that their beliefs were logical and true. He took on wild accusations like Christians being cannibals or engaging in detestable acts, and completely destroyed them with solid arguments. Christians were showing their courage daily throughout the empire and inspired many. This 20-year period marked a huge turning point for the Roman Empire. The long period of peace, known as the Pax Romana, which had lasted for over 200 years, began to fall apart. The first part of this era saw the calm end of Emperor Antoninus Pius's reign. He died in 161 AD. He was a beloved emperor who focused on peace and good administration. But when his adopted son, the Philosopher-Emperor Marcus Aurelius, reigned 161–180 AD, took the throne, things went from peaceful to panicked almost overnight. Marcus Aurelius's reign was defined by crisis. The first major challenge was the terrifying Antonine Plague, a devastating pandemic that swept through the empire from 165 AD to 180 AD. It was likely smallpox or measles and wiped out millions of people, weakening the army and the economy. At the same time, the empire faced intense military pressure. Starting in the 160s, a massive coalition of Germanic tribes, including the fierce Marcomanni and Quadi, launched a huge invasion across the Danube River into Roman territory. This was no small border skirmish. It was the beginning of the long and costly Marcomannic Wars. These wars forced Marcus Aurelius, a man who preferred philosophy, to spend years on the battlefield, defending the empire's very existence. After Marcus Aurelius's death in 180 AD, his son Commodus took the throne. He reigned from 180 to 192 AD. Commodus was a very different kind of ruler. He was more interested in being a gladiator and a showman than a leader. His strange and bizarre reign brought a final end to the stable rule of the 5 good emperors and set the stage for future chaos. Across the globe, the Eastern Han Dynasty in China was also slowly cracking under internal pressure. This period saw the rule of Emperor Huan, who died in 168 AD, and then the very young Emperor Ling. The imperial court was a hotbed of corruption and power grabs. This corruption and chaos was slowly but surely paving the way for the massive Yellow Turban Rebellion in 184 AD. This rebellion, led by a man named Zhang Jiao, caused widespread chaos and led to the rise of powerful regional warlords who would eventually tear China apart. Outside the Roman and Chinese empires, life went on. The Germanic and Celtic tribes in northern Europe were busy with the Marcomannic Wars. Meanwhile, in the Americas, Africa, Japan, and Polynesia, ancient societies continued to grow and develop their unique traditions. Though there was chaos in China, some cool developments did occur. Mainly, the Chinese seismograph. While invented earlier, the seismograph created by Zhang Heng was a sophisticated instrument that was still in use during this period. It was a large bronze vessel that could detect and indicate the direction of a distant earthquake. If a tremor occurred, a bronze ball would fall from one of 8 dragons' mouths into a waiting frog's mouth below, letting the emperor know where to send aid. Pretty cool, huh? Before we end this, I wanted to tell you about the death of Commodus. In the year 192, Emperor Commodus had become paranoid and obsessed with being a gladiator, even fighting in the arena himself. His own officials feared for their lives because of his strange behavior, and his final end came when his personal trainer, an athlete named Narcissus, was hired to strangle him in his bath. A truly wild story that shows how far the Roman Empire had fallen from its golden age.